1979, athlete. As an athlete at Whitefish Bay High School, Ann Pufahl was a member of the volleyball and basketball teams. She started as a sophomore on the volleyball team, making it to state in 1976. After graduation from Whitefish Bay High School, Ann attended UW lacrosse and was a 4-year varsity letter winner on the women's volleyball team, qualifying for nationals every year, finishing in the Elite 8 3 times, and earning 3 conference championships. UW lacrosse inducted Ann into their Athletic Hall of Fame in 2004. After college, Ann became involved in volleyball officiating and coaching, refereeing 5 NCAA national championship matches, including the 1999 Division I Finals in Hawaii. She served on U.S. Volleyball's Board of Directors and on the Board of Directors for Pufahl, Professional Association Volleyball Officials. In December of 2014, Ann was inducted into the Pufahl Hall of Fame. Ann coached the Marquette University Women's Club volleyball team, winning 3 national championships, 2008, 13, and 14, and finishing as a national runner-up in 1999, 2011, and 2007. She was named the National Coach of the Year in 2004. Ann served as the coordinator of volleyball officials for the Big 12, Sun Belt, and Summit Conferences, and served as the vice president of the NCVF, the National Collegiate Volleyball Federation. In 2011, the NCAA named Ann as their secretary rules editor for women's volleyball, making her responsible for writing the volleyball rules book for all divisions of NCAA women's volleyball. Ann Pufahl.
Hey John, I thought you said we had 50 minutes. I want to thank the Hall of Fame committee. I want to thank John. I want to thank Pride. A lot to our family. I especially want to thank my sisters, my older sister Kathy, my sister Ellen, and my sister Liz. Liz, raise your hand. No. She turns 50 at midnight tonight. I also want to thank my niece Liz Rowland, my nephew Joe Rowland, Tom and Luke Hendricks, who I was so proud to watch them put on the blue and gray and play football for Whitefish Bay, play for the Berserkers for Whitefish Bay, and Luke sitting right there, went to state in diving for 2 years, so good job, Luke. Yep. I sure wish my mom and dad were here, because my mom would have spent the past week shopping for an outfit with perfect shoes. I'm not kidding, with perfect shoes. They loved Whitefish Bay. I don't think my mom and dad missed one event, one activity any of us were involved in. They lead blue and gray. Where's John? You can't take this away from me, right? It's mine now? Are you sure you wanted to give the high school senior from Whitefish Bay who was voted wild and crazy and sat out on the second floor ledge for a photo? Just ask her. It took me a long time to figure out the imprint that Whitefish Bay left on me, but it was just incredible. I knew I wanted to play volleyball because my big sister Kathy played volleyball at Whitefish Bay, and I was going to do whatever she did. And when I saw her playing in the varsity, when I finally came here, that was my goal. Kathy played volleyball, I had to play with her. And probably the highlights of my career is I got to play at state tournament with my sister. How cool, well you guys know, you get that. Okay? You know, and the only thing that's disappointing is we made state as a sophomore. Jean also, as a sophomore, played on the varsity. I thought we were going to do it every year. I'm not kidding. I thought, well, this is easy. Just play and win. How hard is it to go to state? Well, guess back then they didn't have active ankles, and they thought, hey, play in slippers because you'll jump so much higher. So after all the ankle sprains, it never happened again, and I was really sad because our senior year, we had 3 volleyball players that all played in college. I mean, we had a great team. I also have the honor of playing for Coach Jack Nagel. I can't tell you the influence he's had on my life to this day. I was a starter on the basketball team, but I was never a star, but he never made you feel that way. Looking back, I know, because whenever we learned new offense, the start of the offense would go, okay, Ann, whatever side the ball goes to, you go opposite and read. And the other one, he kept telling me, you're just the greatest passer, and you're such a great passer. So I thought, okay, I'm going to really work on my with Mr. Nagel once. Going back, I think it's because he never, ever wanted me to shoot. Ever. But I remember, and this is his stuff, I won a really great game. I played a good game. I scored points, but I still passed and rebounded. And when I came out, I remember thinking, I had a really good game. He put my warm-up on my shoulders, didn't say a word, but at that moment, I knew I made him proud. I mean, the impact Jack Nagel had on every athlete he taught was incredible. I used his language, his verbiage. He taught you how to want to win, how to be a competitor, how to never settle. Just, you have to work hard because it's what you have to do in life. It's how you get past life. And one quick story, Jack Nagel always had an open door policy. You could come in between shifts. So I remember Gene and I went in there one day and he always had like butterscotch candy and he was always drawing basketball plays. So he goes, oh, just the two people I want to see. Come on in, I drew this play just for you. So he's like, Gene, you're going to cut down and you're going to swing up on the wing and then you're going to stand and we're going to set a pick for you. And then he said, Ann, you go opposite the ball. When I went off to college, I didn't realize what a great impact Whitefish Bay had on us all. I mean, I sat in Mr. Blyer's algebra class. I sat in Mr. Hyken's geometry class. I learned how to spell Mrs. Laviane's last name. You had to. It was part of the class. You had to. You know, but I just made decent grades. But when I got to college and I started taking tests, I went, we did this already at Bay. I was kind of smart. I didn't know that I had that in me. Whitefish Bay just demanded that out of you. It gave you that edge. All right, this is going to be a shock for those of you that know me, but I love volleyball. Volleyball just makes me happy. And I was fortunate to play 4 years and, again, kind of continue what I learned from Whitefish Bay and Jack Nagel. And, you know, yet you can't lose. You learn that as long as you're trying your hardest and you're playing with your teammates, you're not going to lose. So my teams at lacrosse were just wonderful. Just, we weren't going to lose. You had to play your hardest, and Whitefish Bay taught me to teach my teammates that. Volleyball's allowed me to travel, I think, to just about every state in the nation as a volleyball referee. It was really hard to take that call, because I got to call 5 Final Fours, I think, but the one, it was December, we just had 12 inches of snow, and the NCAA goes, hey, would you consider flying to Hawaii tomorrow to call the Final Four? No, I have a dentist appointment. But what I got to start doing, because I was so proud of being from Whitefish Bay, that whenever I reffed, I don't care if it was a little Division III school or I was reffing Penn State, Nebraska, I always had to get a program and open it up and see how many Whitefish Bay kids I could find in that program. Because then I would have to watch them warm up, and if I had a chance, I'd go, Bay grad? Me too. I get it. And it was surprising to see how many people I actually saw, how many athletes Bay puts out in the world and represents them well. I volunteered 17 years ago. A group of women said, hey, can you coach us? And I went, you're a club volleyball team, you're a collegiate club. Well, they hooked me. And again, it's the coaching bug that Mr. Nagel passed down that I wanted to share with them because it was a gift he gave me. And I wanted to share with them how cool it is just to work your hardest and enjoy success. So after that, we won 3 national championships back to back, which was, they did what I did. Well, we're gonna win another one, aren't we? And I'm like, no, it's kind of hard. It's really hard to continue to win those. Finally reaching my goal of being the Secretary of Rules Editor is kind of like full circle, because of all the blessings volleyball gave me, I wanted to give back. So I get to finally influence a game that I love and has done so much for me by changing the rules. So I think hats on volleyball players would be cool, right? Just like a fun hats there, I can do that tomorrow. You're wearing hats. No, but it's just cool. And again, thanks to Mrs. Lavianes and Jack Nagel, I wrote 2 rule books, and I didn't have too many errors. They might have passed me on that. Lastly, I would not be here without my teammates. Gene Ullman, hey, can you plug your ears for a second, committee? Gene Ullman and I, the night before we played Shorewood, would go to the best Shorewood player's house and toilet paper in front of their house. Okay. That's for real. Kathy Nichols, Chrissy Simons, Nancy Hillerich, Mary Manning flew in here all the way from Seattle, right, Seattle? Good, thumbs up. Who's already inducted. I mean, this is what it's all about being part of Bay. Just having your teammates and your friends here. Sue Brand, Chris Madsen, Stan Spitz, they're all here. And I probably haven't seen some of them since I left here. But it's so wonderful to see that we're together. We still have our teammate bond. I'm excited because I want to see every one of you guys up here talking. Jean, I want to be here. Kathy, I want to be here when you're standing up here. I'll sit in the back and smile at you and go, it's a little nerve-wracking talking in front of all these people. I love the journey we took, and I love the fact that Whitefish Bay set us on the right path, and hopefully the legacy that group of women left gets carried forward. And all I can do is say thank you very much for this honor. I'm just truly humble. Thank you.